It's your girl Ken and welcome back to the channel Simply Serene. If you clicked on this video, you either related to it because you are a Black African American in corporate America, or you're not Black and your curiosity brought you here. Either way, it might look like it's going to be a victimized video, but watch it to the end because we're going to bring it back to a full U-turn and reflect on ourselves. Y'all stay tuned. It's a very powerful message. Let's go ahead and get started. America has always had a complicated relationship with Black people in general, but specifically we're going to be talking about Black African American women. There is a contradiction in American history that we do not talk about enough. Matter of fact, I don't even think we talk about it at all. Maybe Black women amongst Black women discuss it, but if we ever were to verbalize it publicly, we either look bitter, toxic, or focusing on the past. So today we're going to try to bury those labels and we're going to have a great dialogue strictly using facts to drive our point home. We're then going to tie it back with biblical principles and see where we land, and I would love to hear y'all's comments down below. Throughout history, we see that Black women have helped build this country, nurture this country, helped contribute to this country, even helped shape this country. Time and time again, it goes unrecognized. There has been tension between appreciating what Black women contribute and then also fully recognizing or embracing a Black woman in her true nature. Her hair is kinky and curly. She wears different styles. She embraces her hands when she talks. A lot of people have a problem embracing Black women as they are. The contradiction did not just begin in corporate America. However, that's where my story began, but it did not begin there for a lot of other African American women. It did not begin with diversity initiatives. It actually reaches back to the early chapters of the nation's history. Thomas Jefferson, hope you know him. He's on the back of the nickel, I believe. He's the third president of the United States of America. Historians broadly agree that Thomas Jefferson, actually, I'm not just going to say historians, there is proof. His lineage, his family has popped up on the Oprah show many years ago. Y'all go watch that. I'll put the link down in the bio. But it's a fact that he fathered children with Sally Hemings. She was an enslaved African American woman. Just in simple terms, she was Black. Their story reminds us of one of America's enduring contradictions. Black women could be close enough to bear the children of a very powerful man like Thomas Jefferson, yet still be denied freedom, public recognition, and equal dignity. Throughout slavery, many enslaved women labored, cared for households, and endured sexual exploitation while being denied the rights humanity offered to other people. Now, I'm not saying that corporate America is the new workplace of slavery. I don't believe that it is. But I do believe that history leaves behind patterns that are worth paying attention to. We're going to focus on some of these patterns today. I'm going to give y'all some stories that I've personally been through, and we're going to connect the dots on what this might be. You may have even experienced it. Black women are valued for what they can contribute. Black women work hard. Our work ethic is top tier for the most part. I'm speaking on a broad term here. We contribute more readily, but not embraced for who we are. And that observation became super personal for me when I entered corporate America about 10 years ago. I walked into banking believing something so simple, which this is how it should be. If I work hard, if I invest in myself, I read books, keep myself learning on the topics of financial advising, doors would open naturally for me. But instead, it looked a little different, whether that's because of my skin color, whether that's because of a personal vendetta, who knows, but I found myself asking different questions. What happens when a Black woman walks into a room already fully prepared? What does that look like? I'm not preparing. I'm not getting ready for the task. I'm already prepared. I'm already there. If you know, I've been a stay-at-home mom for about 2.5 years. I recently entered the workforce about 4 months ago. And I came into this particular job with banking experience, about 8 to 10 years. I have been a head teller before. I have been acting assistant branch manager. I have held leader responsibilities. I have met with millionaire clients. I have worked multiple areas of the bank. So I'm not looking for shortcuts. I simply just want to keep growing in banking. But this particular position, I had to start from the bottom. I had to start from the bottom of the totem pole as a teller. So what I did was I personally invested in myself. In my previous banking jobs, I became a commission notary. Then I began pursuing my loan originator license as of recent. And I paid for that myself. Typically, your bank would sponsor that for you, but I was moving in silence because this is something that I've always wanted to do. No one required for me to do it. No one told me that I need to do it. I just believed preparation was a part of stewardship. If I'm happy to be working again, if I'm happy to have this job, then I'm going to give it my all. At my 3-month evaluation, I shared that I was working towards getting my loan originator license with my managers. I asked how I might begin using my loan originator license in my current career path. I wasn't asking for a promotion. I wasn't asking to replace anyone. I wasn't asking to take anybody's job. I was just asking how I could continue growing. And instead of a conversation on development or giving me my kudos, I was reminded that I was hired for my current position. Then I was given a suggestion that I could simply help open credit cards. Now, if you know anything about banking or a loan originator license allows you to pretty much make a loan. You can make a mortgage for someone. You work with underwriters. You go out and find new business. This is not a simple thing where you just open credit cards. That answer kind of just stuck with me. It was the absence of the curiosity on my manager's part. No one asked about my goals. No one asked about why I was aspiring to get my loan originator license. No one said, "Congratulations, Ken, that's awesome." No one asked how they could help develop me. No one asked if they can mentor me. It just felt like the conversation had ended before it even got started. The same thing happened when people learned that I was a notary. So when they did find out, I was thinking, this could be another credential that could actually help my team. So there's only like 2 people, 3 people in the whole entire branch that can do notaries that is downstairs. Sometimes they're backed up with customers and, opening accounts and doing different things like that. So I put in the Teams chat, hey, if y'all ever need me, I am a notary and I can notarize documents if y'all are too busy. I pretty much came from a humble space. I can do them if y'all are busy. No one ever even responded to the message. Instead of, "Oh, wow, that's awesome. I'm so glad you already came with a notary. Great. We need backup notaries. We're really busy on the platform side." Instead of any of that, it seemed that they viewed it as something that was just like, whatever. Later, I heard a conversation with my manager and another employee encouraging them to get their notary. And I remember thinking like, hey, I'm here, I'm standing here. Hello, I have a notary. It felt wrong. It just felt very, I can't put a word on it. If you know, you know. I always was looking for opportunities to contribute beyond my responsibilities of my job title. That's just always been me. My mom always told me you do your best work when no one's looking, you work hard, bop, 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 bop. That's just my personality. So I remember asking if I could start morning huddles because I saw the benefit in the huddles. It kind of set the trajectory for the team's day. It was a great way to boost morale. So I asked if I could facilitate the morning huddles. And of course, as you know, on the outside, the answer is always yes. Oh, yes, of course, Ken, you can do that. But the opportunity to do it never came. So I took initiative by myself and I started to collaborate with other team members and coworkers, and I started sharing ideas and looking for ways to strengthen the team and to start facilitating the morning huddles. My efforts were met with comments like, "You want my job? Are you trying to get my job?" Or they were met with, okay, boss lady, you got it, whatever you want to do. And it was, that sarcastic tone, as if I was trying to be the boss. And that always surprised me, because I wasn't trying to become somebody's boss. I wasn't trying to look like I was better than anybody. I was simply just trying to be better at my job. I was simply just trying to become good at what I'm doing. These were the moments that just kept standing out to me. And I have a couple more examples if you guys are tracking. One of the things that really brings me joy with going to work is I love to dress up, dress professional, just look nice, because that's literally who I am at my core. That's what I like to do. And one day I came in with my Louis Vuitton bag, and I don't even have a big one. I just have a little crossbody Louis Vuitton bag. And I came in wearing it, and the next day, my manager came in carrying a big Louis Vuitton bag. I don't even know, like the tote bag or something. And prior to that, she would carry just the little like crossbody bags that were like really small, very petite, like the ones you see from Marshall's, just a basic bag. And no shade to her. I mean, that's just what worked for her. But the moment I brought my bag in, she decides that she's going to start wearing her Louis Vuitton bag. And I get it. That may sound like, girl, you're crazy, you're tripping. Okay, maybe I am. Maybe the moment alone didn't mean anything. But when we start seeing these moments that are just happening regularly and they begin pointing in the same direction, you naturally begin to wonder what's up, or find yourself in just a very awkward position. I also noticed that if I were to make any type of mistake, needed any type of guidance, asked questions that would help me, situations were felt much larger than what they needed to be. What could have been like a simple coaching moment, or a simple like, hey, yeah, I never showed you that, but I appreciate you trying to figure that on your own, but let me show you how we do it here. Let me show you the culture of our branch. Like, simple coaching conversation became something much more public. Whether it was intentional or not, just experiences like that where I did something wrong and then another team member found out, and another team member found out, and then another team member found out, and it's like, oh, Ken did this wrong. I get that we can use somebody's mistake as a way to coach and use it as a preventative measure to help the team. But when it's done in a way of like gossiping, it kind of leaves me feeling unusually visible in moments that just needed simple support. These aren't just like isolated stories that just pop up. It's a trend. They reflect a pattern where initiative is often interpreted as ambition. Preparation wasn't always recognized as preparation. Apparently, self-growth made other people feel uncomfortable. And perhaps out of all of this, the most hardest feeling to describe, I often felt welcomed to contribute, but it was never fully accepted. Like, they just made it seem like on the surface, like, yeah, you can do X, Y, and Z. But it never matured to anything. That feeling alone can send every African American woman back to history. I repeat, America has always had this complicated relationship with the Black woman. They'll accept our hard work, but our leadership, initiative, actions are always questioned. They'll accept and appreciate our contributions, yeah, because they're going to help the company bring in more business, their forward-thinking ideas. But our voices and opportunity to speak on a platform, always overlooked. Again, I'm not claiming that every workplace is the same, or this is how your workplace is. I'm not saying that every white person or person is like this or have the same motives. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just simply sharing my experiences, and I question, why are these experiences happening to me? And in the middle of these questions and the frustration, coming home and talking to my husband about it, and In the middle of all this, God just kept bringing me back to the story of Joseph. Joseph knew what it felt like to be misunderstood. He knew what betrayal was. He knew what false accusations were. He knew what it meant to wait in the trenches. Yet through every season that Joseph went through, scripture kept repeating the same thing. The Lord was with Joseph. The Lord was with Joseph. The Lord was with Joseph. And what encourages me about Joseph's story is that God wasn't changing his circumstances. Joseph went through hell. Joseph went through a lot, but none of his circumstances were changing. God didn't switch things around. God was changing Joseph. God was developing and shaping his character so that when it was time for him to be in his purpose, when it was time for him to be in his greater calling, he would be the entrusted individual that God needed him to be. I want to leave this lesson with the women watching this. I'm not sharing my story so that we can say, woe is us, woe is the Black woman. I'm tired of this SH beep, beep, beep. And I'm done with that. That's not the purpose of my story, because I don't want to victimize us, because we're not victims, and I don't want us spending our lives wishing that people would have treated us differently. I'm sharing this story because I wish that I had understood sooner that what God was doing in me is ultimately shaping me for what he is going to work out. So yes, these experiences are real. And yes, y'all, I've had moments where I had cried because they're painful experiences. Consistently being unseen is painful. But today my prayer isn't, Lord, I wish this had happened to somebody else. Lord, why is this happening to me? Lord, why did you put me at this bank to deal with these fools? Like, that cannot be your thought process. That cannot be your prayer. Your prayer should simply be, Lord, help me see what you're producing in me through this. Because if God can use betrayal, rejection, like Joseph's own family turning on him to prepare Joseph for his purpose, then who am I to say that he cannot use this difficult season to prepare us women for what he's going to do for us down the line, or soon, or now? So don't let disappointment define you. Don't let how they treat you define you. Let it develop you. Don't let delayed recognition. That was a tough one for me, because I would give advice and they would shun me to my face and then use it on conference calls and never give me recognition for it. Don't let the disappointment define you. Don't let the delayed recognition convince you that you are forgotten, that you are not here, that you are not visible. Keep preparing, keep learning, keep reading books, keep growing your mind, keep praying, because promotion may come through, people. They may come through, but purpose solely comes from God. And if his purpose is to put you here to grow so that you get better and you can navigate situations better and you can become something great, something better, then hey, who are we to say this sucks? And if God was faithful to carry Joseph through his hard times, through jail, false accusations, I mean, God just really carried this guy. And if he was able to carry him through difficult situations, I know he will be faithful enough to carry you, to carry me through this season. America may very well, it's been proven, have a complicated relationship with Black women. But good news, God never has. Ladies, thanks so much for tuning in to today's video. Again, I know you were brought here for many reasons. Like, yes, that's the video I'm watching tonight. Yes, I go through that in corporate America. But listen, God has a plan for our lives. God is shaping us even through situations like this. Don't forget that you are His. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I would love to hear from y'all. Please comment and talk with me down below. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.